This chapter is to calculate height and distance. So height and distance is basically in a real life scenario, right? Suppose you want to measure, there's a tree, okay? There is a coconut tree, and then there's a coconut tree. You want to measure the height of the coconut tree, okay? So if there's a person who is watching from here, like there is one person watching from here, okay, and he is seeing the top of the coconut tree, okay, and it makes an angle of some degrees, let's call it theta, okay, it makes the angle of theta degree with the ground, okay. Now from the coconut tree, right, it is easy to measure how far is the man, right? Using a tape you can measure this, okay. So if you know this length and if you know this angle, you can calculate the other sides of a triangle. If you see that this triangle, right, is formed, this angle will be 90 degree, right? The coconut is standing straight, right? So this angle is 90 degree. So this is a right angle triangle. A triangle with one angle 90 degree is a right angle triangle. So sum of all the angles will be 180 degree in a triangle, right? So using trigonometry ratios, right? If you are given one angle and one side, we can measure the other sides. We can calculate the other sides, right? So if you are given the distance, so this is the distance. If you are given the distance on one angle, you can calculate the height. If you are given the height and the angle, you can calculate the distance, right? So this chapter is called as trigonometry. Trigonometry is nothing but triangle measurement, okay? You measure a triangle. What you're measuring the triangle? You can measure the three sides or the three angles in a triangle, right? Why you want to measure it? In a real life series scenarios, there is lot of right angle triangles formed. Okay, see coconut tree, right angle triangle is formed. Suppose you have a ship, okay, and then you want to know how far the ship is from the shore. So from a lighthouse, you are seeing the ship, and see this forms a right angle triangle. Okay, so there is lot of right angle triangle formed. If you know the height of the your lighthouse, and if you know this angle, then you can find the this distance. So you can measure distance or height using trigonometry, right? Using this right angle triangle trigonometry. So that is why trigonometry is called triangle measurement, and this is the real life applications of trigonometry. Okay, so now in a right angle triangle, right, the side opposite to your 90 degree, right, this is called hypotenuse, and opposite side is called perpendicular, and any side which is opposite to your angle, right? So if this is the theta, then a side opposite to theta is opposite side, and the side adjacent to the theta is the adjacent side, adjacent, okay. Suppose if you take theta, if you measure, if you calculate this angle, right, then this side will become opposite and this side will become adjacent, okay. Now this is a ratios we have to remember, okay. Sine theta is nothing but sine is opposite by hypotenuse, okay. Cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, tan theta is opposite side by adjacent, okay. So this I think you have to remember only these three things, right? These three ratios you have to remember, okay. And if you know these three ratios, you can calculate all the other things, okay. Now if you see, right, there is other functions like cosecant theta. This is nothing but 1 by sine theta. It is nothing but inverse of sine theta. So this will be hypotenuse by opposite, and secant theta is 1 by cos theta, which is inverse of this, hypotenuse by adjacent. And similarly tan theta is 1 by cot theta, which is ulta of this, adjacent by opposite, okay. So this once you know this ratio, it's easy to bring these ratios, right? And that is what is mentioned here, right? It is okay. And then These are the trigonometric identities. Any theta you take, right, sine square theta plus cos square theta will be 1. Okay, and then 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta, and 1 plus cot square theta is cosecant square theta. Okay, and apart from that, by Pythagoras theorem, in a right angle triangle, what Pythagoras theorem tells us, hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. So this is hypotenuse, this is opposite, this is adjacent. So if you square and add these two sides, you will get the square of this side. This is what is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so this is also an important identity. Okay, and then what is the value of sine 0? What is the value of sine 30? Okay, this value, there is a formula how you derive this. Okay, but usually I'll just tell you a brief of how you can derive this formula, right? Suppose you have if you have a square like this, right? uh, and let's draw a side like this. Okay, now let's take this is a right angle triangle, right? So this is theta. Okay, this will be 45 degrees, correct? This is 45 degrees, right? This is 90 degree, so this will also be 45 degree, right? If these two angles are equal, then these two sides will be equal in isosceles triangle. Okay, let's assume that this side is a and this side is a. What will be this side? So hypotenuse is equal to square root. Hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square, which is a square plus a square. So hypotenuse square is equal to 2a square. So hypotenuse is equal to square. If it goes this side, this will become square root of 2a square. This will be, so if you apply square root to a square, square will go off. It will be square root of a square root of 2. A will come out of square root, right? So this hypotenuse is a square root of 2. Okay. Now, what is, let's search, what is sine theta? Sine theta is nothing but opposite side by hypotenuse, which is a by a square root of 2. A cancel, which is 1 by root 2. That is what is here. Right? What is cos theta? Adjacent by hypotenuse, which is also 1 by root 2. What is tan theta? Opposite side by adjacent, which is a by a, which is 1. Right? Similarly, you can calculate the values for 30 degree and 60 degree and 90 degree and 0 degree, like how we calculated here, right? Um, so you can remember, I think by recall you can remember this also, right? Sine 0 is 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90, right? If you just remember this one, this is enough. 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, 1. Okay. Now cos theta, what will happen is it will be reverse of sin theta. 1 root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2 and 0. Right? Tan theta is nothing but sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. Right? Tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. Right? So if you divide these two, right, 0 by 1 is 0. If I divide this 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2, 2 and 2 cancel, will be 1 by root 3. If I divide 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 is 1. If you divide these two, 2 and 2 cancel, it will be root 3. 1 by 0 is undefined. Anything divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, this is what is tan theta. Okay, and so you have to just remember this one line, right? 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, and this, remember this line, and the other things you can get it easily. Okay, so and the next one is suppose what is angle of elevation is from a horizontal place. If you are looking up, right, then the angle made is called angle of elevation. Angle of depression is, suppose if you are looking downwards, right, if the line of sight is downwards, then the angle made is called angle of depression. So these are the basic things you need to know to understand trigonometry. So now how you will find this, right? As I told you, right, how using these identities, how you can find it, right? Suppose you take a right angle triangle. Suppose you take a this is a coconut tree. Let's assume this is a ship. Okay, let's assume this is a ship. This is a lighthouse. Okay, so let's assume this height is probably 200 meter or something. Okay, and we need to know how far the ship is, right? And you are having a device, you are seeing the ship from here, right? And you know this angle. Let's assume uh, this is 60 degrees. Okay, now you need to know the distance, right? So this part you need to know. What is this? This is nothing but your opposite side, right? This is theta. This is nothing but the opposite side. So this will be adjacent side. So with which trigonometric ratio involves opposite and adjacent? Tan theta. Tan theta will be opposite side by adjacent. Okay, now what is theta? Theta is 60 degrees. What is opposite side? Opposite we don't know. What is adjacent side is 200 meters. Right? So with this, what is opposite side? Which is equal to tan 60 into 200. What is tan 60 is root 3. So root 3 into 200. That is 200. That is your opposite side value. So this is the distance of the ship. So if you know one angle and one side of a triangle, you can calculate other side or this other sides using these ratios, right? If hypotenuse is given, you can use sin theta. If adjacent is given, you can use cos theta. Depending upon what value is given and what is asked, you are given adjacent and you are asked for opposite. With opposite and adjacent, tan theta comes, right? So I am using tan theta. So this is what is basically trigonometry is, right? Given one angle on one side, you can find the other side using these trigonometric ratios.